Okay, I have in my hands the Embodied Ecosystems Tarot Oracle deck, advanced sample copy. I have been staring at this box since I got home from my trip at 3 a.m. Saturday morning, and all yesterday. Today's Sunday. Yesterday I was just like not feeling good from travels and just overwhelmed, and so I waited until today to open this, and I am just, yeah, I feel like I'm not ready, but I am ready, obviously. It's just, I'm scared, but I'm very excited to share this moment with you. I promised myself I would record this so that y'all could share this moment with me, but also so that my like designer critic brain doesn't activate right away, hopefully, so that I can like really celebrate and take this in before making any edits that might be needed before the finals. So I'm gonna make a lot of weird faces. I'm just like, I can't handle this already. I can't believe it. Like, I can. This is over 2 years in like literal making, and over like 6 or 7 years in gestating in my mind and body. So I can't fucking believe this. Oh my god. Here is the outer box. I should turn this light on. I don't know if that helps, but okay. I'm gonna take this outer wrapper off, which, yeah, it does come wrapped in shrink wrap, which I often, they recommend it, and I get it so that it protects the deck so there's not damage and it can, be protected for long-term use. Although it's plastic, which obviously I try to avoid as much as possible, there's no more plastic in here other than this. This is recyclable, I found out, with other soft plastics. There's this, like, our Walmart has, I believe it's Walmart, yeah, it has a bin, Nick always drops it off. So we just collect all our soft plastics like this, like bread bags and whatnot, and there's this company that processes and recycles them into, I think it's some kind of fuel, so at least it gets reused. So just FYI, if you didn't know that, at least it can be reused. But anyways, holy shit, oh my gosh. So this is the outer box, the case that holds it all, and this is where the FSC logo will go once they confirm which one we get. Embodied Ecosystems, a tarot oracle deck and guidebook for interconnected remembrance. Okay, I'm gonna open it. I can't. Okay, so this opens all the way, which, yeah, I didn't know if it was gonna stay like that or open, but I guess that helps you see all the elements and their messages around, and it kind of lays out like a little, you could use that as a grid, you could use that for your rituals as well. But this box is, use it as you wish, but it's primarily for storage and display in stores, protection for the whole set. But then with other decks I've had like this, I typically store this box or use it for like other things, so you'll see. And you can use it as you wish, of course. The guidebook. Okay, I don't know if I should say things here, but I'm like, I might lighten this a little. I don't know, it's deep and dark, but maybe that's okay. It feels really nice. It has like it's not necessarily soft touch, but it's like a nice matte that doesn't, and it's anti-scratch, so it feels good. And I did want a flexi cover, so I'm gonna have to talk to them about that because this isn't the flexi cover that I asked for. But the printing inside looks really good, and I'm very excited. The paper is not glossy, but it's like that standard little white booklet paper, and I had also asked for matte in here, so I'm going to talk to them about that. I don't know if that makes a difference or if this makes just as much sense, but just little things. But yeah, I love I feel like the printing came out really solid in here. Otherwise, I'll just have to double check on the papers and see about that, but I'm happy with it otherwise. I did want that. I have another deck like this, and the cover is it's a little thicker. It's not hardcover, but it's like a flexi cover, and I like that because it protects the booklet a little more, so I'm definitely gonna make sure we get that, because that's something I had inquired about. With my printer, they've been great, but also one person had to leave in the middle of all this, so there's been, just a little bit of bumps while we deal with that. But it's been fine. It's just maybe that got lost in the mix because of that. But yeah, there's a lot of intro pages. Okay, I want to show you the whole thing, but right now we're just doing an overview, and this is already getting long. But you can see the contents. Okay, let me move on. Okay, and then we have under where the guidebook was, it fits perfectly in here. And then beneath it we have a paper insert holding the travel box and the cards, which, okay, they wrap this in shrink wrap as well, which I don't know if that's necessary, but I'll ask them. Maybe that's for transportation so that it doesn't move around, but I'll see if we can skip that because it doesn't feel totally necessary if the outer box is wrapped. Okay. It just has some, I don't know, something stuck there. It's coming off. But yeah, anyways. And then the inside here, I'm realizing now, this is kind of redundant, so maybe I'll switch that up. And then this was supposed to have a design around it, but I realized that I put it on the wrong layer, so I don't know now actually if we need that or if we want it simple, but I'm gonna play around with that. But yeah, this had just the elements on each side, so this is supposed to be here, a little smaller, so we'll see. And then beneath it, you can take that whole paper insert out, and it has the elemental body drawing. And so this is what I mean, where it's like a nice storage box for like the deck and book and other things. Like if you get the altar cloth, you could fit that on here instead of this, or you can use it for other things, but it's magnetic. So that's the box and the cards. I thought I was gonna cry. I think I'm just like so overwhelmed in a good way that I can't cry, or I'm like, I can't fully process this. Another version of that drawing and the elements in the body. This is an important one, and it goes with the meditation for the deck, so it's in the guidebook too with the meditation. Okay, and then it has the little ribbon in here, so it's easy to pull the cards out. And here they are. So the shrink wrap here too. I will talk to them about that. You can let me know your opinions on all that, like if that's been standard for other decks you've gotten. I'll ask the company if that's standard for them too, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it does hold them together better in transport and protects them, but I'm not sure. Like maybe around the cards makes sense and around the main box, but I don't know if around this box too. So we'll see if I can reduce it to like 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3 instead of all 3, but otherwise at least it's recyclable somewhat. I'm like shaking. You can see. The cards feel really good and sturdy. The texture, I mean, they feel like the samples I got that I really loved. And I'll try shuffling them in a minute. Yeah. It's our Fool, Magician, to it. Wow. So yeah, this is where I'm gonna go through the deck on my own time, and some of the colors I feel like look really good, and then some of them, like this one, you can't fully see the details in the back, so that's where I'll have to go in and edit before we print the batch, but that's why I do the sample. But in general, I think it looks good. Oh my god, I'm in denial right now, really. And I feel like I'm not giving y'all much of a reaction because I'm just like really feeling this. Wow. It's funny because when I first, with these cards, the text kind of looked very stark, and like, maybe it's because the Pentacles doesn't have as much white in the drawing, and a lot of the others do, and maybe that's something I need to add or adjust, but like, I don't know if I'm just being critical, but it blends in well to like these, I think, and it doesn't feel too bold or contrasted, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's fine. I just don't want the text to take away from the image, and it's like these cards are small, but that's the size that I felt like is a good handheld option, so, oh my gosh. And then the edges are this nice matte brown, and if you could really see, but it's just a simple like soil brown, which I wanted to just be neutral but not but the color of the earth that we see frequently. So I tend to shuffle cards like this, but I'll also, let's see here. Temperance came out, integration. That feels real right now because, yeah, coming back from my trip, just like taking in the physical form of this, like I really need to sit with it and integrate it before I just jump into the judgments and criticisms that are really just because I care so much and want to make this the best it can be. But our little salamander friend wants to remind us how to adapt, how to integrate, and yeah, just also remembering that there's no such thing as perfection. It's so hard bringing something from the mind into drawing into a physical form, because there's always going to be not dissonance, but like differences, because of course it's being translated to different mediums and formats and going through printers and whatnot, and there's a level of acceptance maybe that has to come with it. How like, can it be good enough? Once I, of course, just make sure there's nothing major. So yeah, I welcome your thoughts on all this. I'm feeling very excited. But yeah, let me try riffle shuffling for y'all. You might not be able to see me do this. I'll do it. Yes. Cool. Yeah. And I'm not necessarily like the best riffle shuffler, so you'll have to let me know, but I just did a gentle like fold instead of like a, since they're square, like kind of fold, letting them like fall into each other. I can't do it as hard. See? It works. But you can definitely do it a little more rough. We got 2 more cards coming through. I was like, am I gonna do a pull? But yes. This is what I've been waiting for. So the King of Cups, the conduit of fluidity, came through, asking me to tap into the ocean, the flow that I just experienced very intensely where I was in Puerto Rico. The waves were rough there, and it was kind of scary at moments, and it really taught me the lessons of like the power of the ocean and the forces of life, how like they're so comforting, but at the same time like they mean business and we have to like listen to them. So this feels like big like mama ocean energy, that's like that kind of tough love right now that I need, that's like almost snapping me into like, let's just celebrate this project, but also like the emotions that I'm having about this and all the feels are valid, but also let's not let them take over. Let's remember like what's at the core of this, and what this deck is trying to teach us is like it lives on here despite all the things. If that makes sense. Maybe this is what we're reading for me, but I hope it resonates for you too. In general, like right now we're in these super turbulent times, like every day just new bullshit news, and but I just got this shirt. The old world is molting, the new world emerges, and that's a lot of what this deck is about, so gotta remember that. And I feel like that's the message of the King of Cups too. It's like what we know, nature and the elements, the foundations aren't going anywhere, okay, no matter what. And the laws of nature, like all the things that are, all the strings that the billionaires and fascists are trying to pull, like it will only go so far. Like that's not to negate the harm it's creating, but like there's so much that's still intact and foundational that we're not gonna let go of, and that we can still resource within. So I don't know, I just feel a lot of support from this like King of Cups, conduit of fluidity card. It's one of my favorites in general in tarot, but also how it came out here, just yeah. And Ace of Swords, element of awareness, also came out, just like this deck is here to help us really how do I want to phrase this, shift our mindset comes up, but more so like honor the pace and needs of our nervous system and mentality, while consciously and actively working to rewire those pathways that are being triggered by everything going on, that are that have been conditioned within us. Like we're always able to rewire and renew that, but it's, of course, easier said than done, but ultimately it's possible, and we have support in that. And this deck and its many features and tools is just one part of that remembrance of coming back to what's real and what's integral within us. That's like our consciousness and the space and awareness that we hold in all our cells and all of us. And this one also popped out, so 10 of Pentacles, realization of stability. I feel like the Pentacles suit is darker, and part of me likes that, but I might want it to be a little more legible, or a little more contrast. So I like the earthy, how it's not super contrasty. My brain is like mush right now, not feeling the best, but I can't think of the word, like more, how earth tones are more muted, and there's not always a contrast unless the sun is shining bright, so I want it to have that feeling, but I also, with the printing and with the super white text, I could also change the text color for the Pentacle suit make it a little more muted, or I could just brighten the image, maybe add some white highlights. So we'll see. I gotta sit with this more. This is just like my initial reactions, but it's all coming together. It's all coming together, and we are remembering. I almost named the tens Remembrance, and I also had the name Culmination previously, but Realization is the one that felt the most right and stuck, because the 10 is this kind of end of the cycle, but it's really not. It's really just like this moment of realizing all and remembering like all that's come before, all that's to come, all that remains, despite the change, despite the beginning and ends of cycles. I feel like this speaks to many layers of life right now. And how we're not alone, you know, there's helping hands everywhere, from the sentients and spirits and fellow humans all around, and this is a reminder of that. So thank you for joining me for this. These cards, actually, I feel more in my body, and while I still want to sit with this, it's Sunday though. This is my like art and rest and altar day. So I wanted to open this today, but tomorrow is when I will actually, you know, maybe make my little list of things I want to tweak before I submit the final files, things I want to ask the printer about, and actually this week, you know, kind of go back in and make any edits. Lovely Mateo also helped me review and edit the guidebook, so I have to apply those edits because he caught a lot of little human errors, like just little punctuation and typo things, or so I'm excited to bring everything as close to possible as to tend to it a little bit more, and then to let it be, to bring it to life, because I'm very pleased. Like, if I had just gone to print right now, like, this would be amazing. Like, this is enough. And I'm not just saying that. I feel it, like, I'm trying to believe that, because that the medicine is here with the cards. But I just want to tend to it a little bit more before we print that batch, and so thank you. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or thoughts for me. I'm excited. This feels like a healthy stack. And the box with its little ribbon to help us pull them out. And I'm just gonna also, I ended up for the travel box, because, you know, if you don't want to bring that whole thing with you, you can just have this little travel box in the guidebook, and that's why I want the guidebook to have that cover, so I'm gonna check on that. And you just have these two things, and then the pouch, the travel pouch, if you got a bundle with that or ordered it, like, it fits both of these nicely, and I just ordered those, and the bandanas actually from a local printer, screen printer, so I'm excited to hopefully get those in the next week or two. But I love how this tucks together. I know that this is upside down, but that's okay. Maybe. I know, I debated, like, which would be better to have on the outside. Just the symbols, or this. Because so many decisions, you know, there's no perfect, there's no right or wrong, but I'm happy with how it came out so far. I'm happy with how it looks and feels, and like the kind of texture. It's hard to see in my lighting, but I can't believe it. Okay. Okay. I need to say goodbye. This was long. Okay. Thank you.